Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to For the Fan, episode number 116. I am Will. We got Jake and Dom here. Colton's going to be joining us momentarily. But yeah, let's start with the show, guys. How are you? Well, how's it going? Winter's here. Worst time of the year, personally.
I'm ready. Depression.
Worst part of the year.
Worst time of the year because you're a Jets fan? Is that why?
Well, I mean, the best time of the year to be a Jets fan is the spring because we win free agency, we win the draft, okay, we win training camp, okay, like we have all these participation trophies that haven't been displayed at MetLife yet. It's just like the Lakers in season tournament winning banner that they put up.
New York sports fan answer. That is the New York sports fan answer. Our Super Bowl is the spring. Is the off season.
Everyone knows the Jets win the off season. That everyone knows that.
Yeah. Just like the Devils have won the same fan base.
Well, no, they've won the Stanley Cup totally in the offseason.
Yeah, every offseason.
Every
offseason.
No, I think there's more Ranger fans that are Jets fans than Devils fans or Jet fans, personally.
I don't know about that. Devils fans are only Jets and Giants fans.
Don't forget about the Icelanders.
Thank you.
Ice climbers. Yeah, here.
I have some hat merch. This was like the Christmas of the For the Fan merch for us guys here.
In between the lion and the lamb on the Chinese calendar year, the year of the merch.
Yeah, and then Allison presented us with the shirts last week. That was a beautiful thing. So yeah, I have some hats for you boys too as well, and all's well in the merch department for us, I guess. It's cool.
What was everyone's favorite Christmas present they got for the year?
Oof.
Favorite Christmas present?
Yeah.
I got my Rose Bowl tickets from last January framed and given to me.
That's pretty sick.
Mine was pretty low key this year.
Any good underwear? I don't know. Heated underwear, heated socks.
Absolutely, actually love getting socks.
Tell you what, heated underwear sounds good though. Whoever's getting heated underwear, that sounds like a great time right now. I don't know. I got a new display case thing for my watches. That was nice because right now my watches are just on surfaces because I didn't have one, so that was cool. Man, I don't know. This hat's great. I love this hat, so all's well there. Yeah,
I got this new microphone. But I didn't know no XLR cables came with it, so I have to wait for the Amazon truck to come by tomorrow, and I can plug that John in to.
There was no one knows about this, but it's kind of funny. When me and Jake were doing the JD stuff, I got the second microphone ready to go, and we were supposed to go later that day to do stuff, record. And I had my microphone, the one Jake's on or the ones I'm on, whatever, the second mic. And I forgot about the XLR cable like you did. And I drove my ass 30 minutes away with an hour to spare. 30 minutes.
What, a Best Buy?
No, Best Buy doesn't sell them.
Or a Guitar Center.
Guitar Center. That's where I went.
There it is.
Guitar Center. And I walked in and got an XLR cable there. So that was cool. But yeah, that was kind of funny. I did a similar thing to you, but I didn't wait for Amazon. I went and actually.
There is no Guitar Centers around me, so I just couldn't.
No, I had to drive a half an hour away to get to one. You would have had to drive an hour to that spot. So.
Yeah. Whoop. Let's go into the intro here. Thank you all for tuning in, and you are listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
Yes, thank you all for tuning in. Episode number 116. Let's get into the news right now. What a day for news, honestly. I was like, man, I don't know what we're going to talk about. And within 45 minutes, everything was just bombshell after bombshell after bombshell was just dropping everywhere. But yes, Russell Wilson has been benched by the Denver Broncos. It seems to be probably the last nail in the coffin for him and the Broncos relationship after it's not even been 2 years since this trade is even fulfilled, all the way back in March of 2022, where Russell Wilson went from Seattle to Denver, try to be the heir to the Denver throne, maybe get them back to the postseason since the first time after Peyton Manning has retired. Yes, he's done on the bench. Appears to probably be going into a divorce coming in next 3-ish months if they could somehow get out of this contract, which doesn't look very favorable from how the numbers look.
Did you mention the part about how they asked them a couple months ago, kind of thing?
No, I was going to let you guys talk about it first.
For a good win.
Yeah, bring up that part first.
What a lose.
Let me bring up this part first. So here, if they decide, they're going to cut Russell Wilson, and they do a post June 1st deadline, which means they could split money over 2 years and make the cap situation a little more favorable. But in this situation, it's even worse for them in this way. So $85 million would be counted towards the cap as dead money, can't be used. $35.4 million in 2024. Meanwhile, almost $50 million would be dead cap come 2025. And put that into perspective, the Buccaneers, the Rams, and I believe the Saints all have a lot more dead money in this season alone than what the Broncos would be ultimately dealing with over the next 2 seasons, which is absolutely just absurd. And those go from, Tom Brady's contract in Tampa Bay, which, when he retired, that just goes in the dead money. And then all the contracts that the Rams signed with Allen Robinson, Jalen Ramsey, Bobby Wagner, and they just, cut them all after, first year of those deals. Now it just kind of blew up in their face. But let me get to the part where this was mentioned here. So apparently, per the Schultz report, which is a Denver-based reporter, he does a lot of, reporting for the Denver Broncos. I also want to appreciate the 8 people that are watching us right now talking about Russell Wilson being absolutely just, thrown to the doghouse here.
I will say the Schultz report has not been always entirely the most reliable or accurate reports. So I just want to throw that out there, but a majority of the time, well done. So very possible, but still.
So following the October 29th upset win against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Broncos fans are at an all-time high. Maybe they could turn their season around. The Broncos apparently approached Russell Wilson and asked him to, get rid of his injury guarantees of his contract. So if he was to get hurt with a major injury after a couple days into the new year of the NFL, so in like the middle of May, well, no, not middle of May, middle of March, these guarantees would just be, official, slide in. They can't really do much about it without, doing a little bit of leveraging there. And it really caused a major argument with apparently this is where this benching was going to be taking place just because of the financials thing. Russell Wilson apparently was shocked about how this major dispute happened between both sides. When the threat was made per, the Schultz report, the team, Wilson's camp, the NFLPA, and other unknown parties were involved in the negotiations that ended with no change in Russell Wilson's contract.
This all, mind you, for the quarterback they just had to have and signed the deal in the first place.
This isn't even the same regime, is it? The GM probably. We know Hackett's not there anymore. Sean Payton probably wants his own guy up there.
But so, does this come down from the ownership because this is financials? No, would this not come down from ownership?
Probably, from there, then trickles down to
from Walmart. This comes from Walmart essentially because Walmart are the owner. The Walton family is the owner of the Broncos. So I wonder if Walmart's stocks are at low for some reason in the Christmas season, and they're just like, "Hey, this is an issue. Russell Wilson, we can't afford him." Like that. What is that about? Because I've never once heard of financials like this. The not even real financials, just the potential for a financial liability for the owners and Wilson potentially getting hurt, making a full decision on the ending of a season because they're in it. They're not in it. They could still be in playoffs just as much as the Raiders are.
The Raiders actually have a better percentage of making the playoffs at this very moment than the Broncos do.
Okay.
But the Broncos still have, a decent portion of making it.
And the Raiders, I mean, they are kind of rolling. They're rolling at the moment. But, like, it just blows my mind that they gave up on playoffs for a financial situation in Russell Wilson's contract. And it's not even a guarantee. It's a potential thing that could have happened if he got injured. And they're making this decision basically like, hey, we give up on the season because we don't feel like maybe dishing out the money or maybe Walmart's failing. I don't know why this would even be such a thing. We never see this where it's like this. You don't. I mean, this is
It's because they're a loser organization.
yeah. I've never.
I mean, the Raiders did, bench Carr, and they still had a minor shot at making the playoffs last year at this time.
Different situation, and not because of financial. Like.
Well, I mean, if he got hurt, that whole contract he signed, like 10 months prior would have been just a fully guaranteed contract. So they wanted to just get in and out of it.
They were also trying to trade him.
Yeah, they were, and I guess maybe they wanted to do that with Russell. Maybe. I mean, it's just a weird thing. Seems unnecessary to me because it's not like the Broncos have been bad entirely. They've done better than we thought they would do.
He hasn't even been bad this year.
And that's the thing. He has not been bad this year. So for them to just do this, jump into this whole, we got to bench him thing and be so stern on it, and to go to a backup quarterback that, has performed here or there, but is not going to do it for you, not really like a future thing for you, is weird.
Yeah, you're not in a position to get a better quarterback next year.
No, you're not.
There's not one on the market, and you're not going to draft one.
Very odd.
Your backup is not, an average quarterback.
No, correct.
Like we like him just personally because it's funny.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
he's not an NFL starter.
When he replaced Derek Carr last year, he did put up like 365 yards and 4 touchdowns in the next game. Great game, but I mean, it's still whatever that happens.
Oh, it was against the Patriots, was it?
No,
the Niners, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was actually.
I was in California for that game.
I think it was the Niners.
It was the Niners
or the Rams.
Sean Payton has also said during his press conference talking about the
is it the Baker game? No. Continue.
Yeah, so Sean Payton, talking to media about, post Russell Wilson benching, he says, I can't replace the entire offensive line or add 5 new receivers. If the offense isn't working, you have to make changes.
I think
it's just him not liking him.
I know it's not Sean Payton's guy. It's not his guy. It was a totally different coach that wanted to make this trade. They wanted to acquire a quarterback, make sure, hey, they can get this going. They could do something like that.
I still think
it's just not a good look.
I really just think this is Sean Payton being a scumbag again.
I think this comes from above Payton as well, though. Like, I think it's like I feel like it's a whole front office ownership decision as a whole that we're just not. This isn't what we want. Let's not even risk the season. Let's not even just like give up. Whatever, I guess. I think
they should have gave up after week 3 when the Dolphins dumped 70 on them. Like, that's when they should have given up.
Yeah, but then they played well the rest of the season. It's not like
they won like 7 straight, like a week later.
Yeah. So weird.
6 straight.
Weird. Yeah, they might have, right?
It was 6
Defense
straight.
Was looking good.
They looked good.
Yeah, and then they went ahead. They beat
Bills.
Yeah.
The Bills. They beat the Bears. No, they beat the Bears. They lost the Jets, and then they just went on just a tear after.
They just dumped off Kareem Jackson, right?
I didn't even know he got released. There was no news about it.
He got released?
He got released. He got picked up.
He got released. Yeah, then the Texans picked him up.
Okay.
He starts back where he originally was drafted. And you know whose teammate was there? D'Amico Ryans, head coach.
That long ago. I did not realize Kareem Jackson wasn't playing that long.
No, neither did I.
Me neither, but here we are.
Yeah.
Let's also go into the other quarterback news here. Tyrod. Everyone's been saying Tyrod Taylor, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Tyrod, as he has mentioned previous times in the past. So Tyrod Taylor and Jacoby Brissett.
You have to be better for me to care.
Take control of the quarterback 1 reigns for their respective teams, the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. As they enter Week 17, both teams have been eliminated from playoff contention. The Giants, who were eliminated on Monday after a loss to Philadelphia, and the Commanders, well, it's since the beginning of December. That's basically when it started. But yeah.
I don't entirely get this decision. Is this a decision or is this because of injury?
Which one?
Both.
Ron is definitely getting fired at the end of the year, so this is just to say, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go out on my terms.
Yeah.
That's Ron's decision. And then Tyrod, I mean, Mr. Gabagool was exposed against the Saints, and then he got exposed against the Eagles. He wasn't really getting anything going, so that was just a smarter decision to get the offense going.
You're eliminated for the season, right? So
I mean, you have nothing else to lose. I mean,
yeah,
kind of.
Why would you start guys that are veterans over dudes that you want to have some experience?
Yeah, that's
Well, I mean, Sam Howell too. I mean, after that, he played the Dolphins. He didn't really look good in the passing game, and then he played the Rams. We saw him, and he just wasn't able to get anything. And then he played the Jets, and that was just kind of like, I mean, Jacoby Brissett filled in for both the Rams game and the Jets game, and he brought this team back to a closer feat. So you got to give him at least some props there. As Colton's here, he's joining in on his favorite teams talk, the Washington Commanders, and also the Tommy Cutlets.
Why is this news? Why is this news?
Well, we already talked.
These two dumpster fire teams being news. Come on, come on.
And here we go. As we have God joining us here, the G-men to play spoiler ball. That's what they have, where they play the Rams and they play the Eagles again in week number 18.
Yeah, they're really playing spoiler. Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, hey, they can help the Rams get knocked out of the playoffs. Something like that. But yes, Dom brought up the point as in why are they not playing, youthful guys at quarterback like Tommy DeVito and or Sam Howell and just having veterans here who have been in the league for, Tyrod now 12 years and Jacoby Brissett's been in the league for it will be 7 in 2024.
Wow, only 7?
Third round pick for the Patriots.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. The guy that you named captain, and this is clearly showing that the Commanders are going to either draft a quarterback or try to do something in the offseason. It's what this proves. You're not letting them play and get the reps. Like I don't get it. It doesn't make much sense as a Commander fan, and it doesn't make sense as a Giants fan. You're probably not re-signing Tyrod Taylor next year. Anyway, see what you got in Tommy DeVito. You didn't play much worse than Tyrod Taylor. The game plan was different in the second half. He clearly has to go out and swing it all over the place. Like, I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense for the Giants and Commanders, honestly, both these cases. Taylor's gone next year, and guess what? It's not like you're in Cleveland situation. Okay, we got to play the better quarterback. We're in it. You're not. You're not even close to it. Play Tommy DeVito, see if you have a legitimate backup. Otherwise, you find out your answer. Instead, you might keep him as your backup next year. It's like, and then Daniel Jones get hurt, and you put him in. It's like, oh, yeah, this kid really isn't that good. Where you could have found out the last few weeks of the season, like, can he play your backup? And you're not going to know now because you're playing Taylor for no freaking reason. And same shit with your percent. You want to find out if Sam Howell's your future quarterback, and you're benching him, and the season's over. Like, Ron Rivera, your job's gone anyway. It's gone, buddy. It's gone.
Like, Colton, the only thing that I can think makes sense at all is the Rivera angle for himself. Like,
I don't know.
He's getting canned. Like, he's
gone. So he's going to put – he doesn't care about the future of the organization. He's going to put what he thinks is the best quarterback right now for him to get a job next year.
It still sucks because even that – so Sam Howell, right? I mean –
Sam Howell, 300 yards short of 4,000 for the year.
He's not bad. Stats better than Lamar Jackson, people saying MVP, and he's getting benched. DeVito's one thing, but like Sam Howell's not in an awful place where it's like I would want to see.
It's not awful anymore. It's better now.
Again, it also helps coming in if you're Jacoby. Like both these guys coming in, the way they've looked, like yes, they've looked better. The games are out of hand. So you're just coming in there fresh and saying, screw it, F it. I'm, Terry McLaurin's down there somewhere. Like, that's pretty much what's going on here. Like, congrats. Like, I don't know. That's why I don't know why this is news. It's
this is all teams. More proof that Ron doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
Oh, God.
He's got to be DC somewhere at best.
Like, Ron's done. Yeah. Like, he's been a terrible coach this year, and it's been kind of a quiet story that hasn't really –
because it doesn't matter.
Like, his decisions have been so bad.
Yeah, because they suck. That's why.
And let's also bring this up to Jair Alexander suspended one game by the Green Bay Packers after the coin toss fiasco, as it's been labeled, in the pregame against the Carolina Panthers. Being known as a Charlotte boy, he decided to make himself team captain, say, you know what, we're just going to go on defense. Apparently, with him saying defense, they're just giving up, two receiving kickoffs, essentially, in the game. They're just kicking the ball off after both halves.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So, they have 3 captains that go up there, and he was technically the 4th inline captain, and then like the three are going up there, and then he just kind of does. Like he's just like, yeah, because I'm from here, like this is okay for me to do kind of thing. And then just kind of says, hey, he won the coin toss though. Like he said tails or whatever. He won the coin toss, so that's cool. I guess he got that far. And then he said, I want to be on defense kind of thing. And then I don't know. The whole thing's weird. Suspending him is a huge. I feel like there's bigger things here than just this is what happened. I think the organization or the front office or whatever has bigger issues with him.
There's got to be a lot of stuff. Well, they did say this is the last straw.
Okay. That makes sense.
So,
because to me, this sounded like a fine fence for someone going rogue, which you can't have.
I know he hasn't really played like I don't know more than half the season. Like he's been hurt.
Also, you're making this a liability for a team in a place where you can make playoffs, and you're benching or suspending your maybe best player on defense is a little bit odd. I mean, it's just, it's weird to me. It's like, I don't know. It seems extreme.
I don't know if this is even right. Like I'm Googling his stats and it just says November 5th and then Christmas Eve is like the last, like anywhere stats in between. I know he's been hurt. So
it's weird.
Yeah, he hasn't played a game since November 5th. Oh, well.
I don't know. Seems like there's some issues here overall, that need to be addressed in the offseason, as in maybe him being in a new uniform. I don't know. Seems like that's a best case scenario for both sides.
Let's quickly go over the injury roundup. Tua, thumb and quad injury was limited in practice before their game against the Ravens on Sunday. Ramondre Stevenson's season is over. Patriots put him on IR, just ending the season. There was no point in him coming back. Trevor Lawrence suffered a shoulder injury during the third quarter of the Buccaneers game. He did not practice today, but he does say he's feeling better. The Vikings, who can't afford any more injuries, and they're still trying to fight for their playoff hopes, plays TJ Hawkinson, who tore his ACL and MCL, and outside linebacker DJ Wanham, who tore his quad, both on IR, ending their seasons. Jordan Addison is week to week with a ankle injury. I think I saw that correctly. Yeah, that was that. DeJuan Brown was placed on IR by the Jets after injuring his back, effectively ending his season and possibly his career, depending on if he's going to play again in the following year. CJ Stroud practiced today, so good sign for Houston, progressing. Missed the last 2 games.
That's huge with that division right now.
And I believe that's about it for.
By the way, what should have been a headline is Trevor Lawrence getting a pass for being very, very average. Very average.
Correct.
That should be a headline.
His career stats.
That is a TikTok and a clip all over the place. That guy is getting such a pass. My goodness. He flies such under the radar for being mid. Like, crazy. All here's the Kenny Pickett shit. And I see this guy, first overall, was the next Andrew Luck, can't miss prospect coming out of college, and he's god-awful. He's not good at all. Trevor Lawrence is not good. I haven't seen anything like, damn. Yeah, okay. That's a legit ball player. Nothing. I've seen him more than Joe Burrow. Like, right away you saw from Joe Burrow. Legit. That's a legit franchise guy. Have not seen it from Trevor Lawrence. Not once. And oh, by the way, he plays in the worst division. The division is awful. Trevor Lawrence gets a pass all the time. That should be a new headline, and that is a debate conversation.
So, Cole, you'll like this.
Such a pass for being average. It's wild. And, he doesn't have Calvin Ridley. I know Christian Kirk got hurt 2 weeks ago. Evan Ingram.
Zay Jones.
They have weapons, so I don't even want to hear that garbage. Like, what? He is so bang average. My goodness. He gets
you like this, Colton. I saw an AB career stats, and it was Trevor Lawrence, and you will never guess the quarterback that was basically the same, if not a little bit better.
I know who you're
David
talking.
Garrard.
Daniel Jones.
Yep, that's
That's such a pass. It's absolute malarkey. I can't wait for them to pay him. And then it's like, oh, damn, is Trevor Lawrence overpaid? And it's going to be like, 3 years late on the memo that he's been bang average. Like, it's wild how average Trevor Lawrence is.
I mean, I think there's more upside to Trevor Lawrence than like Daniel Jones.
Oh, of course. But Mike, this
That's
coming out of college, this was the can't miss kid. You had to tank for Trevor. Like, he's that good. He's bang average. The division again. You know what's crazy? I've seen more from C.J. Stroud than I have Trevor Lawrence saying, "Damn, that's a ball player." That's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy.
Justin Fields though too has produced as well. We've seen him go, balls to the wall.
That's my point. Justin Fields gets hammered. Like, they got to trade him, right? The Bears have to trade him and draft Caleb Williams. What? I've seen around the same crap from him than Trevor Lawrence. Like, what? Come on, man. Like, they got to hold him to a higher standard. Like, he gets such a pass for being mid, for being the first overall pick and the can't-miss prospect. Like, literally, if you look at like the last few quarterbacks to come out, the most hype outside, like, I guess Caleb Williams. I mean, Caleb Williams was such a disappointment last year. I think if they had a better season, USC, the amount of hype coming out of college.
Defense. I mean, their defense would be blowing them the game.
No, he's been
when you got the 100th ranked defense out of 124 defensive programs. Like,
my point on players coming out, quarterbacks coming out, the most hype was probably Trevor Lawrence. And then it sucks if Caleb Williams had a better season. It would have been him and Caleb Williams with the most hype coming out of college. Like, he gets such a pass for being average. It's wild.
So, okay, I'm going to bring this up because I think this is worth talking about right now. The AFC South race, okay? Because there are 3 teams 8-7 currently with 2 weeks to go left in this season between the Texans, which are they starting CJ Stroud this week, Will, do you think?
Well, he's still in concussion protocol, but practicing it's good progression.
Yeah, he's trending to play.
I feel like he's trending to play, okay. What about Will Levis's status?
Will Levis, I think it's Tannehill's job right now.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, there's no point in starting Levis again for the rest of the season.
Well, other than the fact that you're 8-7, if that's a better option, that's a better option.
Well, the Titans aren't 8-7 though.
Oh
no, the Titans are like 5.
Oh, who am I thinking of then? What's the other team that I can't?
Jaguars? We're just been talking about them?
Jags,
Colts. Thank you, Colts. All right, Colts, Gardner Minshew, and then Trevor Lawrence, and the Jags, who's injured and substantially injured because he's been injured a few times this season.
It was an AC joint strain, not just a shoulder.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're in a place, man, where Trevor Lawrence is maybe in the worst option out of those 3, and the Jags are in a very tough spot out of those 3. Indianapolis has been trending up all season. Gardner Minshew's been playing a safe, conservative, good game every game, it seems like. And CJ Stroud, if he's back, I mean, the Texans have a very great chance at that division. 3 8-7 teams. Basically, one of them are going to get into the playoffs, right? Maybe a second one could. But, I mean, it's really about winning that division. That's really interesting, that division right now. And I kind of want to get all your opinions. Who do you guys think?
Do you have their schedules, like, offhand here?
I can get you the schedules.
Okay, yeah, let's bring that up first.
I know.
I kind of want to talk about this. Is worth talking about for sure.
I know the Texans and Colts are going to play again.
Yes,
Okay.
The Texans. So the Texans play the Titans on Sunday, and then they go to Indianapolis next Sunday.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the Colts play the Raiders at home Sunday, and then they play the Texans next week, and then the Jaguars, they play the Panthers this Sunday. I think it's in Carolina, and then they go and play the Titans.
Okay. That makes it tough. That makes it tough because the Jags clearly have the easiest.
The Levis Tannehill discussion does matter because the Titans play all of them.
Well, I mean, Derrick Henry's the owner of Houston. I mean, he rumbles through that place like, it's nobody's business.
It's true.
And he's been itching for that breakout game.
Jags in his career.
Yeah, that's a
way worse than the Jags.
And he plays in his 2 favorite places then. Look at that.
Okay, I will say Indianapolis has the toughest one because they're going against a very obviously strong Raiders team. But I feel like if they could beat the Raiders this weekend, man, my money would be on Indianapolis because after they have a great chance.
Ain't beating the Raiders.
I don't think they are.
And the Raiders' offense really isn't that good. I just don't think they're winning.
Yeah, the Raiders had to put up a 10 Tebow performance of 62 yards, and they just didn't complete another pass for the rest of the game. I had to watch that game on Nickelodeon. Okay, that was just brutal to watch.
I mean,
they showed more Taylor Swift highlights than they could for the Raiders. Good things to hear White knew how to like just run through the damn defense. I mean, that's what helped them get down the field all those times.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they were trying with O'Connell. He would throw it here and there, but they were chilling, man. They were so chilling. And Anthony Pierce and the Raiders are wild. But if Indianapolis, if they could beat the Raiders this weekend, I would have money on them. But I feel like it should kind of is the Texans to lose.
So I think if the Texans win out, in
period.
Okay. Because of the
divisional
schedule or divisional records.
Yeah.
Because the Jags are. Oh, that's the last 5. Never mind.
Do you want me to break down the playoff scenarios? Because the Jaguars can clinch this weekend.
They can? All right.
They can with a win, but Indy and Houston both have to lose. That's the only way how they can clinch a playoff berth and the AFC South title.
Who's the Texans play again?
The Texans play the Titans in Houston.
Titans, then Colts. That's their
I think the Texans win this week, and I think the Colts lose, so I don't think they clinch this week.
That's
and honestly, dude, and if Trevor Lawrence is hurt, I know Carolina blows. Carolina has put up 30 points.
Carolina,
So,
if they have better clock
points,
management.
If they could put the points up again, they might win, dude. They're going to try to win. They got no reason to tank or try to lose. So, and if Trevor, dude, I don't know if Trevor's going to play. AC joint, that's not fun.
AC joint, ankle.
If he plays, he's probably bad too. Like that's.
I don't know if they win this. Like I'll probably pick them just on their defense alone. But dude, I'm staying away from it money wise. I wouldn't.
I think Houston gets this one. I really do.
I think Houston possibly sneaks out this, dude. Like the schedule's easy, but again, Trevor's hurt and he's mid on top of it, mid and injured. Yikes! Not a great combination.
Because.
Who's the backup here? CJ Beathard?
Oh, wait.
CJ Beathard. And then they got the magician who had the greatest preseason throw of all time that broke out of like 18 sacks against the Cowboys, threw it down the field. I think it was a former Oregon State quarterback, but I'm drawing a blank of who it was, but he's been signed.
For the highlight, I don't remember the name.
Sam.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. That's very interesting. Really interesting division right now, being where they are.
And since we're talking about the AFC South, let's bring up the playoff picture here. And here's where it relies right now. Let's get this off of Jake's face here. And I can break down these playoff clinching scenarios. So we're going to start with the AFC. Baltimore can clinch the 1 seed if they win on Sunday. They clinch it outright. Doesn't really matter what happens there. They can also clinch the AFC North with a win, or, if they lose, Cleveland loses, they can clinch the AFC North there. The Bills can clinch the a playoff berth with a win plus Pittsburgh or Cincinnati loss, a Jacksonville loss, a bunch of losses, and if they tie, I'm not really going to go through them. The Browns can clinch with a win and in, win or tie, and in, or Pittsburgh loss, or Buffalo loss, Jacksonville loss, all those losses. I already said the Jaguars clinching scenario. The Chiefs can clinch a playoff berth and the West title with a win plus Las Vegas loss, a win would get them the title, or Las Vegas loss and Denver lost. The Dolphins clinch the AFC East with a win, or Buffalo loses. So that is that. Sure.
Or is it guaranteed basically 2 AFC South teams, or are there some other teams in that mix?
There is a bunch of the Steelers are still alive. The Rudolph wasn't the only one slinging balls on the Christmas weekend there. He helped save the Steelers season.
Are they 8-7?
Yes.
Okay, I mean that's still a chance.
Steelers went out, they're in.
Yeah, basically.
They need Jacksonville, or not Jacksonville. They need a loss from either Houston or the Colts, and they play each other the last week of the season. So as long as one of them loses and the Steelers win out, I believe the Steelers are in. Again, I'm not even remotely.
And if the Steelers can beat the Seahawks in Seattle, they could go to Baltimore, where they're not probably going to be playing Lamar Jackson week 18.
It's weird. If they get the bye, they might play Lamar. I mean, they may not play him the whole game, but they may play him the first half.
That's true.
Just because you'll have 2 weeks off, and then that's kind of been the talk going around Steelerland is, go Ravens, they can get the 1 seed, and then you play the backups. Like, yeah, I also don't know if they're going to sit him. Like, I get why would you risk Lamar in a meaningless game, but we're just going to have 2 weeks off, so you might want to play him a little bit.
Also,
So the AFC. I just want to go over this really quick because I didn't really get to do it. So the Ravens 1, Dolphins 2, Chiefs 3, Jaguars 4. The elite Joe Flacco and the Browns are at 5. Bills, who have dug themselves out of their grave, are at 6, and the Colts, who are at 7. And then I could go and break down the NFC side here. So the Rams could clinch with a win plus Seahawks loss. The Eagles can clinch the NFC East with a win and a Dallas loss or tie. The Niners clinch the standalone 1 seed with a win plus Detroit loss and Philadelphia loss. The Seahawks can clinch a playoff berth with a win plus the Packers and Vikings must tie on Sunday Night Football. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we spent a mere 8 minutes and 48 seconds talking about why they're just so bad, they could clinch the division with an outright win. So the NFC side, the Niners at 1, the Eagles at 2, Lions 3, Buccaneers 4, followed by Dallas at 5, the Rams at 6, and the Seahawks who are at 7. And there's 2 matchups here that I am so stoked to see if the playoffs did start today. The Matthew Stafford's return to Detroit.
Yeah.
And then Josh Allen, Mahomes, 9 or 10, whatever saga part we're in on this one. Those are probably the best 2 wildcard matchups going in.
what was the scenario for Seattle again?
So Seattle, if they clinch, they have to win. And then the Packers and the Vikings must tie on this week. They must tie in order to get in over the tiebreakers that they would have.
Oh, why? One of those teams would beat the other one, so would take.
Yeah, so I think it's a divisional thing, maybe. Or it might be a strength of schedule thing.
Okay. That's a weird scenario. Good for Seattle battling back, I guess. I guess that's good for them because they were.
Gino ain't writing back, though.
Well.
All right. Looks like I'm a Steelers fan for the weekend, Colton.
Go Berg.
It's so close to what you usually say. Look at that. I don't know, man. This is pretty wild. This first seed spot in the NFC is pretty nuts right now with the Niners, the Eagles, and Detroit. I mean, it's kind of wild that we're this close in that first seed spot. The fact that Detroit could very well do it is
imagine because the week 18 schedule is not set. They all have it as a to be determined because ESPN gets 2 games on the Saturday and then we get a full slate on Sunday.
Yeah.
Imagine the Niners, the Eagles, and the Lions all playing at 4:25 Eastern. And they're not going to adjust these schedules to where like, oh hey, this team loses, I'm not going to play my starters. No, they're all going to be playing at the exact same time. They're looking up at the scoreboard the entire time.
They always put them at the same time so they don't have one of those scenarios.
Which I kind of like. I would rather that because I want to see. I mean, that's everyone. That's how it should be. I think for the most.
So what? The Eagles would be playing in MetLife. The Lions would be playing the Vikings at home, and then the Niners play the Rams. So we can have. There's a lot of playoff. A lot of playoff football coming up. I'm excited. This might be the best week 18 we've had since ever since they deemed the 2021 schedule the best season, the biggest season ever, and it lived up to that expectation. I like the eye roll, Dom.
Yeah. All right. Interesting on both sides. We're a lot of teams still very much in it. Like I said, the Packers being that much in it and suspending Alexander is kind of wild.
Atlanta's still in it.
Justin Jefferson's dad they suspended. So
yeah, there you go.
Let's return to the debates here. I got 3 questions here on tap here, and they're all kind of pretty good little debate topics. I want to just break down this because Dom was arguing with me, and I couldn't hear the end of it. It was just going on and on and on. I couldn't hear the end of it. It was, Kyron Williams should be Offensive Player of the Year. Why the hell would they give it to Puka? And then I tell Dom, because Kyron's in his 2nd year.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it should be CJ Stroud. So let's break it into here. Who should win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
That's a my bad thing. I really thought Kyron was a rookie 2nd year. That's okay. CJ Stroud coming back. If he puts up 2 big performances, I think it's his absolutely. But I mean, man, Puka breaking the rookie record. I mean, that's pretty substantial. CJ Stroud's done a lot though. I mean, there's a lot to argue there, but I do still think Puka Nacua has done so well for himself in his rookie year, and
he needs 7 catches to tie Jalen Waddle's record. And then he needs, I think, another 170 yards, and he breaks a record that has been a rookie record for like 70 years.
I think Dom said it best. If Stroud comes back the next 2 weeks and I would say gets in the division, but plays well, and I think they get in the playoffs, to be honest. If he plays well, they're getting in, whether that's division or wild card. Yeah. I think that's how it's going to roll here. And if not, it's going to be Puka Nakua.
Screw it. I'm just going to stay with Flowers just because. No, it's
He had a good performance on Monday night.
Yeah.
I mean, I still want to go with my Jahmyr Gibbs take till the day I die, but I mean, that's not really looking too hot.
Sticking to my guns. Screw it.
I'll try to stick with my Jahmyr Gibbs take, but if Puka breaks those records, I mean, Cup's replacement, writings on the wall there. But hey, if Stroud can, electrify, maybe get a Sunday Night Football game between the Colts and the Texans, and who would have thought that could honestly be a thing for Week 18? Yeah, I think it could be Stroud's. It'll be interesting to see because I know they gave Brock Purdy. They put him in the finals after like 6 games. They're just like, oh, here's Brock Purdy. Enjoy. So, but I want to bring on to this side of the football because I know a lot of our picks weren't good per se, but they were on there. Who should win the defensive rookie of the year?
I'm again sticking with mine that I picked.
Dom, you picked Will Anderson Jr.
Okay.
And I can also bring up a name, Yaya Diaby, Tampa Bay Buccaneers linebacker / edge rusher, leads the rookie class with 6.5 sacks, who can also be throwing his name in the hat.
That's pretty low for the rookie classes we've had, I mean, I
also think, we could put in Brian Branch too, because he's been quietly putting together a really good season.
Definitely. What
does Colton have to say? Yeah. I saw that just...
What do we got?
We're bringing 90-degree Branch up, but we're not bringing Joey Porter Jr. up. Asinine.
Who?
Asinine. That's up. Look up the stats. He's been one of the best corners in football this season. Joey Porter Jr., please. You're on JPJ's Island, my man. You're lucky I wore the jersey the other day. Yeah, Penn State, man. Yes, sir. JPJ.
So, repeat to the crowd what I told you.
You're very lucky I didn't wear it today. Joey Porter Jr.
Will, can you repeat to the crowd what I screamed at you all of the draft process when you were all about Deontay Banks?
Oh, yeah, because, Maryland, go Terps. Go Terps. Yes. Witherspoon this, Devon Witherspoon that.
I'd sleep on Joey Porter Jr. at your own costs. Sleep on him at your own peril, because the dude's a dog. No, you shut up, Allison.
Hey, yo, what? Yeah, I'm not taking any Joey Porter Jr. takes. He's not going to win it.
No,
you don't want to go with Jalen Carter? I mean, you don't want to stick with your guns with your pick there.
Jalen Carter's
who do we think wins this then? Like, do we have is there like a betting favorite right now?
I feel like there's no front runner.
No, there's an extreme front runner. Apparently, the odds.
Yeah,
it's Jalen Carter's, and it's one of the least closest competitions I've ever seen in betting history, like ever. Apparently, it's like negative 2,000 Jalen Carter. Like, it is not close, Jalen Carter. And then Will Anderson, and then Witherspoon, and then Yaya. So, I don't know.
Where's Joey Porter Jr. on this list? Is Joey Porter Jr.
plus
even
10,000? I think he's plus. I'd put in one for Witherspoon like the other day. I think he's like plus 5,000 or something.
Yeah,
like
it's not close.
That's why I really hate that we judge guys off picks and shit like that. Because if you look at his defensive numbers, and again, the AFC North has legit wide receivers, he's been great. What the fudge? I don't get it. Oh, gosh, you people enjoy Porter Jr. slander. I will not take it.
Listen, I've never said one thing bad about him. I really haven't.
And by the way, he wears yellow gloves. Imagine if he wore black gloves and just stopped trying to look cool. He would get away with so much more shit. Oh, Joey.
Or as what Julian Edelman said, just match the opposing team's uniforms. You get away with everything.
Yeah, he wears this bright yellow. It's hilarious. Like where you see Patrick Peterson, like.
Are you sure they're not penalty flags?
Yo, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Oh
You
my
still
God, Joey
watch-
Porter's game-used glove. Look at this.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yo, you're hilarious. He's still way better than Deontay Banks. Eat my short. Bum.
Go Terps. If he wasn't a Giant, I'd be more about Deontay Banks, but
Bum.
bum. I don't even know who I picked for defensive rookie. I didn't pick Banks.
No, you pick Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah, that went out the window week 4.
Hey,
If he was healthy, I mean, it would have been a great pick.
That if he was healthy.
Yeah, I mean, he would be up there if he was healthy. And also, since winter has started a week ago, and the darkness comes out at 4 in the afternoon. What is everyone's least favorite thing about winter?
Cold.
Just
I don't mind the cold, but I hate when my hands get dry. I hate when my lips get chapped. Like, I just hate the fact that that's just all winter. It's just like it doesn't matter how much water I drink. It's just
the
hands are
sunlight.
just dry as hell.
yeah, I'm with Jake on the whole darkness thing. The dark, it's just too much darkness, man. It's just like,
Underrated. Also, another thing. All the New Year's gym goers that invade my space.
Well, at least they're there for a week, and then they go away after.
Yeah.
Easy. You just deal with it.
At the end of January, and they're gone.
You just make fun of them.
And then they're just not even going back to cancel it. They're just
you
like
could just
target.
They let it ride for the rest of the year.
just glare at them from afar. That'll be enough. They'll be too embarrassed and they'll leave. Yeah, I don't know. The sunlight thing for me, I really hate the whole it just when me and Will came back from California, our plane left before the sun came up and we arrived after the sun went down. So we experienced no sunlight that day basically. And that just that makes up
for the day that we left because we did leave when the sun rose and we just had 18 hours of sunlight.
Yeah, that part's true. But it's just, the sunlight part really does suck because it comes up and before you know it, it's down. If you work like a 9 to 5, you're going home in the dark almost. It sucks. So,
can we just get rid of daylight savings time? I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Can we just axe it? Come on. I don't want to hey, the hour of sleep's cool in November, but in March when you lose it, it's come on, man. Can I just not enjoy my sleep?
I want to point out Colton held back on that word and said fudge, and for you, it's the.
I don't care.
He doesn't give a fuck.
That's what made him.
Hey, yo, he's just throwing around left and right. Gosh almighty.
Haymakers, here we go.
Go in the bathroom and then pay your
no!
Bathroom.
Yeah.
Find.
Let's see. Favorite games and moments from week 16. We had what? We had Thursday, we had Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We had 4 days of NFL football.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, my favorite moment is easy. This guy being wrong.
About what? There's more than one.
Well, when in doubt, when I pick the Jaguars, they're always winning. Okay, I'm on the Jaguars train.
You say they're terrible. They beat the Cowboys.
I don't think it's that big of an accomplishment, if I'm going to be honest. But
a win's a win. What? Oh, wait, they won. Yeah.
Okay.
You want them to
stop.
Undefeated again?
I'm gonna. Here's my argument. All right, they did what they did. Okay, first of all, 3 of those drives they didn't really even have to drive down the field because Jason Sanders is awesome and snipes 3 50-plus yard field goals. So good. The offense that everyone
Harrison Butker couldn't hit a field goal.
Everyone's saying so insane. This offense that is unreal. Can't put 20 points up against the good record team all season. Okay,
the top 3 defense.
Put over 20 points on one of the top 5 defenses.
Say, isn't Dallas one of the defenses in football? What's the point?
What do you want them to do? Win the Super Bowl in week 3?
Out of all the winning teams you're going to win against, it's only Dallas. All right, no, listen. This next 3 weeks, including this past week against Dallas, is the most telling part about the Dolphins' season. They've Baltimore
slander is just so much.
It's getting wild.
I don't know how Dom came out and says hey, the Dolphins are going to finish worse than the Patriots. We all knew the Patriots are going to be bottom of the barrel.
That was an awful take, terrible take, one of maybe the worst this whole season, and I'm willing to admit that 100%. I am just saying, I'm not holding the Dolphins up to saying this is one of the best offenses we've ever seen in our lives.
No one said that either. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I see it everywhere. It's everywhere. It's all I've seen all season is this Dolphins offense thing.
all I've seen is that's clearly not the case. All I've seen all season is that they're not good and they're pretenders and they haven't beaten anyone. That's all I've seen. I don't know. You're seeing the best offense all season. You probably saw it after the week against the Broncos when they put up 70. That's probably when you saw it. So sit down and relax and hide your freaking Patriots colors. Holy shit!
Also, the same guy that says that sports media doesn't talk about the Cowboys 24/7.
That's all they do is talk about the Cowboys.
All right, that's not what I was saying. You took that out of context, but I was saying I see it way more about Dolphins than I see it about Cowboys.
What?
No, I just wrong.
You really just put it on for certain seconds.
You're also, but Jake also lives in NFC East.
No, and I live in the world where they only talk about 24/7 is the Cowboys and how great they are.
Your algorithm is going to be Philly stuff, and my algorithm is going to be AFC East stuff.
Well, and then you go.
Algorithms are way different. Where you're seeing Cowboy stuff a lot more than I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing Dolphin stuff a lot more than what you're seeing.
Put Dom in the disappear land. Dom needs a break. Dom needs a chill pill here. Dom needs.
Was that a thunderstorm? All I heard was just loud banging and stuff.
Because you went off on me about the Browns, and that's your division, and they're like 5th in the league right now. I don't want to hear.
Allison, tell him to shut up. Put him in timeout. Timeout for Dom.
I had two favorite games and moments from this week. One was Dom's absolute getting Dom's thing about the Browns running up the score and Amari Cooper and all that stuff. The Patriots were like kings of that. They just ran up the score every single time with Tom Brady and Belichick for like 20 years.
The 58-0 Bills game though.
Oh yeah, the Titans game where Tom Brady slaughtered them 5 touchdowns in a quarter.
That was and then he didn't play, but.
And then the Jets Monday night game where they put up 45-3 and then this and that. The AFC Championship game. Like, I've seen the Patriots do it time and time again. And I've had to sit there in the corner. And then let me bring up Dom's Patriots here for a second because this was also my favorite thing from the week. Chad Ryland with his absolute nuke that he launched. I hope the audio plays. I really hope it does. It's not going to play.
Yeah, that was the sound I've ever heard.
Yeah, is there a mic right there? Like,
there is a mic.
Is there a mic in the football? Do they control the footballs like remotely? Is this the
There's
NFL
a mic
rigged?
at the top of that where the flag is, huh?
No, I think it's on the bottom. I think that sound traveled. I got the audio to work. I do. Hold on. Here we go.
It blew my mind.
There's devices in the footballs. The NFL's rigged confirmed.
Oh goodness.
It is so loud, bro.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference. I can't. How am I supposed to tell the difference of that? I can't. I had to investigate it. Well, play the
kick again. Play the kick again.
Hold on, let me get it back up here.
Dude, what are we doing?
Everything wrong.
I saw it go.
There we go. There you go. I heard no difference.
What is wrong with this?
All
right. Let's see. Does anyone else have any favorite games and moments from this week? Jake, I don't know if you mentioned anything or not.
I did. That's what started the whole thing. I knew exactly what I was doing.
He had the agenda all along.
I had an agenda. Walking in the door, I'm like, I'm going to start some shit today.
Rev up those fryers. Let's see. Buy, sell, and hold following teams of players following week 16. Who are you guys buying into after, I don't know, a lot of make or breaks for the season?
I'm buying into Antonio Pierce.
Bro, all day.
All day.
He's
not going to hire him, guys. It's just to the Raiders. They cannot hire him.
It's the Raider way.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
It doesn't bother me, man.
They had to have learned right from the first time.
The Raiders don't learn. They don't learn.
I know.
Listen, like I said that thing over Instagram. Okay, they fire coaches that are good for them, and then the bad ones they keep around, and then they just continue the cycle. Brandon Staley probably is the odds-on favorite to become the next Raiders coach.
They're going to hire John Gruden again. They're going to get the go-ahead for John Gruden again. That's what they're going to do. And then the locker room riots. And then you're going to see the boomstick that you just put up there again in the Raiders locker room.
Dom's gonna have to make that another 18 months.
Don't
My
put that even.
They better.
listen, Dom had the bad take of saying the Dolphins will be finished last. I said I don't think I think the Lions were pretenders going into the season. I will buy into the Lions.
Wow.
Their first division title in 30 years. The Buccaneers owned a division where they had the same team with the Lions in not that long ago, 30 years ago, actually. So, yeah, I'll buy into the Lions. They've done a lot of good stuff. I mean, they only beat Nick Mullins, and Nick Mullins around this time of year always has a 4-interception game. If you go back when he was on the Niners, I mean, he threw 4 interceptions and 400 yards against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. So, history then again repeats itself. So,
I will buy into I just had it.
Mason Rudolph.
No.
George Pickens
no.
knowing how to catch a football.
I got it. You when you brought up a quarterback, Baker Mayfield. I'm gonna buy into Baker.
Career renaissance.
Yes, he's had a great season, and he's probably going to be the guy next year again in Tampa Bay.
Let me ask you guys a question. If it wasn't going to be DeMar Hamlin, do you think that Baker or do you think that Baker could be a finalist for a comeback player?
Well, who else is going to be a final? I don't really know of any other
two out
player who's come off of like a major injury. I mean, I still think it's DeMar's to lose.
Yeah, it's.
You can't make it a co. Like when Alex Smith
be the
was
year
co,
you do make it a co. To be fair,
no, like I think it was Alex Smith's like to be a co, and then Ben Roethlisberger was like just stepped in. I thought it was Alex Smith to lose in 2020.
Well, I said
Smith. He did win. It wasn't co. What are you talking about?
I thought it was a co. I thought
no.
We
went over this.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did go over this like 7 weeks ago.
And he ended up as co. I think Ben led the NFL in passing yards and was not a co with Alex Smith.
There was no co.
If anything, this is the year, and they're not going to do it. They're not going to have the ball. So let's not even waste our time or breath on it. It's a useless conversation. It's DeMar Hamlin.
All right.
But is Baker Mayfield the long-term solution for Tampa Bay?
I don't know about long-term. I'm definitely back next year. He's definitely starting next year.
Because, I mean, they have $60 million in dead cap, so they're going to get a lot of money next year. So
I would just, again, do not make the Giants mistake on paying them off for one season. Because they're most likely losing Mike Evans next year unless they tag him and then trade him. I see what he does. Godwin, and I don't even know who the rest of the receiving is. Like Kate Otten. I don't know what else the receivers are.
Rashad White, I mean, he's been, really
yes,
stellar.
he's very good for them. Yes. So, again, no. Do not make the Giants mistake in paying him off one season. Do not do it. Another season, tag him or re-sign him another 1-2 year deal. Probably a 1-year deal. It's fair to him because if he has a good season like this, then you extend a long term, but do not go for one season.
So currently the top odds for comeback player of the year are DeMar Hamlin minus 350, Joe Flacco at plus 350.
Stop.
And Baker Mayfield at plus 800.
Isn't that crazy? He's played like 5 weeks, 4 weeks.
I mean, I don't know if Tua's season is better than what he had last year. I don't think so.
I know he's been up there for comeback player, so I'm surprised that he's not still up there for comeback player, like in second. I thought he was in second for comeback player like all season.
Oh, and Colton, I undersold Joey Porter Jr.'s odds. He is plus 15,000.
Jeez.
That's so disrespectful. It's not even as a Steelers hate. Just like look at his numbers. Like every time I see the people post his numbers from like coverage for the week, and I'm like, oh god, he's so good at football. Oh
God, Tua leads the league in passing. He has 4,200 yards. I mean, he's already way past what he was at last year.
Well, then
he has more touchdowns.
Yeah, right.
He missed 5 games with the concussion.
I thought he only played like 5 healthy games.
Yeah. Sell. What do you guys want to sell off on?
Trevor Lawrence.
Bro, I didn't even buy. I don't even.
I want to sell off on the Chiefs.
Oh, the Broncos. Just the Broncos and Walmart. Selling off Walmart with them.
The Broncos is a great sell. They're so funny.
Imagine this, just a wild world. Jarrett Stidham somehow makes it into the playoffs with them, and then Russ is just on the bench. Imagine this is like at the 2020 Rams where they bench Jared Goff for John Wolford. Wolford gets hurt in the wild card game. Who has to come in and win the game? Jared Goff. And they were like, "Oh yeah, we're still going to start, Wolford next week."
Aren't they? What's it called though? aren't they like out now with that loss?
They
Are they
have
like
a
1%?
they have a 7% chance. So if they win
Yeah, they're
out, the Raiders lose out, the Chiefs lose out.
Okay, so they're
Not the
out.
Raiders lose out. Not the Raiders lose out. The Raiders lose one. They're in the same place
Yeah.
as the Raiders right now, Colton, where the Raiders could make it as long as Kansas City loses to
Lose out.
Bengals
loses
and
out.
Chargers.
The
Yeah.
Bengals and the Chargers, which who knows, maybe, but yeah.
Yeah. And then, Vegas and Denver can technically backdoor the division.
They could.
That's hilarious. But definitely a great sell in Denver. That's hilarious what's going on in Denver. God almighty. They're so
Yeah, we
funny.
went through it.
Wait,
They're losers.
That was really the only thing we talked about before you got on. So
They're so funny. Oh, Denver. So funny.
If only Colton was here for it. I should have started out with Tyrod Taylor and Jacoby Brissett.
I would have killed you then.
Well, you wouldn't have been there to hear it, so
No, I would have. I would have heard.
I would
it
have
back.
figured it out one way.
I would have heard it back, and I would have killed you the way you sliced it.
So I might just say also selling off the Jags too. I really don't like that stuff.
The biggest Jag supporter.
I know.
He's a fraud. Dom's the biggest fraud when it
Jackson Domville is just selling off on
I
his
still
team.
love Wolf and won those games. It's not like I did that and failed. And then they went downhill and I went downhill.
And where
that's
has that
really what
brought you?
happened.
Where's that brought you? Back to me. That's where it brought you.
Me and the Jags have correlated all season somehow. I don't know.
And on holds, I'm going to hold Detroit Lions. I want to buy into it. I really do. I just every time I buy into them, it's an absolute disaster. Like they have an awful game, like they do against the Packers, and I'm like, all right, what is this team? So I'm gonna hold them for now. I like what they're doing. I really do. I just gotta.
They play the Cowboys on Saturday night, so
Gotta hold on them. By the way, I'll save when we get to the picks.
okay.
I'm gonna hold on Sir Arthur Smith. Like I haven't been a fan. Like he's the problem with that team. A lot of it.
Yeah.
Yes, if he started Taylor Heineke earlier, they're winning the division.
And then, but yet, this is the first week you've like ever used Kyle Pitts, and look what happens.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
he's
Taylor
gonna be one of
Heineke
those
uses
that might
Kyler
get signed. He might be one of those guys that gets signed really cheap, or like really cheap trade target one of these days, and like he's going to be an absolute stud. Like that's what
the Commanders fumbled the bag on that. Like,
Or they just fire Arthur Smith, and they have a coach that actually knows how to have a brain and use talent.
unless they somehow backdoor that division.
Well, unless
They-
ownership's
They don't
telling him
need to.
to
They can
play.
get a wild card somehow. There's a chance.
Unless ownership was telling him to play Desmond Ritter, like, dude, there's no way after like the start of the season, like, yeah, this guy sucks. Like, we have to start Heineke.
Preaching.
I'm gonna hold on the Eagles because I just don't know what's happening there. I really don't. If Tyrod didn't throw a bad pass in the end zone, maybe we could have been seeing a different outcome. I don't know, but yeah, I know their defense is super, super banged up, so I know health is number one priority.
That's not the issue.
I know it's the offensive play calling and this and that and just blah, 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 blah.
Who cares?
Also, just spotting your team.
Crying me with 11 wins and crying about your problems. I don't want to hear them.
Be where I am with my 5-win team and starting Trevor Siemian.
That's your own team's fault. You could have signed Carson Wentz or gotten Kirk Cousins long ago.
You could have had Joe Flacco.
Could have had Joe Flacco. So
Yeah, I'm just saying Joe Flacco would not have the same success on this team. Joe Flacco was not going to be the same with this offensive line. He would have been broken 3 weeks ago. He would have been demolished 3 weeks ago.
the line is
Carson
banged up.
Wentz would have blew out the other team like 10 weeks ago.
Eat the crap. So
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
the Browns' line has like 3 of their starting tackles out. I do not want to hear it.
But listen, they still have Pro Bowl guys in Joe Bitonio. They still have a great center. They still have another good guard who I'm drawing a blank on. And you know who the Jets don't have? Amari Cooper. And Elijah Moore.
I just keep hearing how good Garrett Wilson is, though.
yeah, I know.
Garrett Wilson's a stud. I mean, listen, he's going to get 1,000 yards on like 10 different quarterbacks.
And I heard how
Damn
bad Amari
organization.
Cooper was when he got traded to Cleveland. Okay. All right. It's
You have a hold, Dom?
Oh, I wasn't gonna say it unless asked but you know what? Well, I'll take all the flack.
Because listen, I've jumped the gun. It's like, oh, I never said a hold, and I have to be guilty. So I'm keeping track here.
It's okay. I'm gonna hold on to the Dolphins.
He should hold on to the Ravens as
Oh
well.
my God! Please put him in timeout. Please, like, can we
Okay,
ban
all right. Here's what
ban him the rest of the episode? Like, is that possible?
On your camera right now.
I'm holding on to the fact that this is the
Thank you. Like, I don't understand how this is acceptable. I don't understand how this is allowed.
it's
Oh,
every week.
It's every week.
this guy's the biggest fraud. I'm telling you, biggest fraud.
I mean, you haven't let me say what I'm holding on.
There's no reason. The biggest Dolphin critiquer and hater all season long, and I'm gonna hold on the Dolphins. Please, you should be muted.
Yeah, explain.
I think this is the biggest game of their season, and this weekend is going to say so much going into the playoffs about the Dolphins, whether confidently they could do something in the playoffs or confidently not. I don't know. I feel like this is the weekend for the Miami Dolphins and this new regime and Mike McDaniels and everything the Dolphins are. This is the weekend, period, in the last however many years of the Dolphins. This means the most for the Dolphins this weekend, and I'm holding on to them purely based off of what this weekend is. If they beat Baltimore, unreal. I mean, that's going to say so much about the Dolphins. And do they get propelled into – they probably don't get propelled into – well, they might get propelled in the first.
They do get first.
Go to first place if they win.
I mean, that could be the largest thing where they don't have to travel into colder climates. They can just chill in Miami. This is the biggest week of the Miami Dolphins in however many years. I mean, like a lot of years. So that's what I'm holding on to. What do the Dolphins do this weekend against? This is the most proving thing that could happen. It was Dallas on the road, which blows. We know that. And they beat Dallas on the road. Okay. That's why I wasn't that impressed yet, because this is the weekend.
Oh my gosh. Please, please, man. Oh my God.
Am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
No more shit.
I'm not wrong.
Marbles over here. The guy that was just saying that Dallas doesn't get a lot of media attention. All they do is get media attention. They're top 5 defense in football. And the Dolphins did it. Oh, by the way, Jalen Waddle in and out of the lineup. Jalen Waddle probably played, 25 snaps in the freaking game. And Tyreek Hill's banged up. And they beat them. I don't want to hear it. I'm sick and tired of it.
If Tony Pollard knew how to reach his arm out, I mean, the Cowboys would have won that game. I don't know what he was thinking, going to Jake Ferguson instead of like the outside.
Am I wrong in saying this week is the biggest proving point for the Dolphins?
I think they got the monkey off the back. And I think they've played decent against good teams this season. In Philly on the road, and as banged up as Miami was, they're in that game. If he doesn't overthrow the one ball and get picked, they're in the game. In a hostile environment in Philly.
Tyreek also dropped a touchdown.
Yeah. They were in that game. Like, dude, they're in that game. They've been in a lot of games against good teams. Yet people label them as frauds, which I thought was asinine. And they haven't been healthy all season. Like, my goodness. Like,
team's healthy all season, though. And that was no team is healthy just all season.
So wait, but also in the preseason, you said you didn't give them credit because you said how fragile they are.
I did, exactly.
And now you said every team gets hurt.
Yes, but I said
if I'm telling you,
it's going to be the biggest issue.
Move on to the pick. I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
I'm not wrong in saying this is the biggest proven.
It is. It is a big game for them. Yes, but if they lose in a tight game on the road in Baltimore, and I don't know. I don't think Jalen Waddle plays. He's got a high ankle sprain, so I don't think Jalen Waddle plays. So if they lose in a close game in Baltimore, I'm not calling jumping off the ship. Oh, look, they beat Dallas at home. Who sucks at on the road? No, I'm not jumping off the Dolphin ship. Sorry. If they lose a tight game against a team that just shellacked everyone's favorite for the Super Bowl on the road, I am not turning on the Dolphins.
And I didn't say I was. I didn't say if they put up a great performance.
I know how you are going to come out next week if they lose to the Ravens. I already know. Oh, look, the Dolphins are frauds. Look at them. Look at the Dolphins. I told you they just beat Dallas, who isn't good on the road against good teams. I already know exactly what you're going to say, and I can't wait for the nonsense because I am picking the Ravens. I do believe the Ravens win.
Okay.
It's going to hurt my head next week. I already know what he's going to say, and I'm going to have to take myself out. I'm going to have to put myself in the penalty box because I'm going to lose it.
Week 17 preview. Here we are, 32 games remaining in this schedule, and it's sad that the season's coming to an end here. And let's take a look at where we are this week. as Colton's going to be smiling around doing his wave. He's going to be doing the gritty or whatever. He's going to be doing the jump man. Last week, Colton and I tied the week at 10-6, followed by Jake at 9-7, and then Dom at 8-8. And now Dom, the seat's getting a little warmer for him.
Just the way you drew it up.
Man, we split too on our differences. Like I made no ground.
You lost ground by a game.
I know.
So Colton's looking closer at clinching that number one winner spot right up there. Have to get a trophy or something.
I mean, we count playoffs, right? So this goes through the Super Bowl, no?
No, this is just regular season.
No.
Oh, I thought we go through the Super Bowl.
No, you're done.
What you think you were catching up? Or you really thought you were going to be in the bottom of the barrel?
You're done, buddy.
Well, no, I mean it's more for you and Colton, but like I'm saying,
too.
I really thought that we go
week.
through the Super Bowl, but I think we should go through the Super Bowl and count playoffs. But
I'm kicking because I want Vegas more.
Looking for someone to catch me. I've given you guys a ton of weeks. Like you got to go out on some of these picks, boys. Like, come on. Who thought Raiders? Who thought Raiders, man? Come on.
I wanted to text the group. I was thinking Friday. I'm like, should I just text them and be like, can I switch to Baltimore? I really was thinking Baltimore, but like, no, I'm not going to text it. If I texted it, the worst thing that would have been said was no. I should have did it.
I would have allowed it.
I would have if you did. Yeah,
I would have
you did it in the morning. Yeah,
I would have allowed it.
we go up to like the couple games before.
Yeah,
like if you did it in the morning, like woke up that morning, and be like, wait a minute. Yeah, we've done it plenty of times over the years.
I would have allowed it. It would have been no, it wouldn't have been because I made it the night before. But
no, I was saying Friday morning, not even like Sunday when you make the graphic. Like
no,
I definitely would have. Yeah,
definitely would have.
Oh well, I lost out. I would have tied with Dom. I would have been having a nice seat buddy with me.
We do these so early in the week that
I really hope you. I hope you sink him to the bottom of the barrel. I hope you do. I will cry. From what was it, like week 12? He my tail, right? He was pretty close, right? It was like week 12 or 13.
I was tied with you at one point.
And then, where's that the GIF or
boom.
See you later, Dom.
I mean, you guys were just a game off back when Joe Burrow broke his wrist. So,
whoa, 2 months of a slide for me, or a month and a half, whatever.
Talk about the Chiefs here, man. Oh my lord,
find myself out of the bottom.
Gosh, yeah.
And here we go, Thursday Night Football. The New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns. Colin, I know you didn't fill out your picks. I'm filling you in for the Browns, so we could put in the sweep here, just so we get done with this pick here. And then we got Detroit at Dallas here. We have Dom and Jake who are taking Dallas here. I'm taking Detroit.
I'm going to fill my thing out as I'm going to try to catch up. I'm going Dallas.
Lone wolfing here. So this could be the pick I hawk Dom on or follow to the bottom of the barrel. Who knows? And then I hope
you catch him.
Colton doesn't even care if he wins the picks. He just wants me to pass Dom. That's all he wants.
I want to see it.
I will cry.
I lost my opportunity last week. I had the chance, and
all right, we got Miami at Baltimore. Colton announced this pick earlier, which fulfills the sweep here for Baltimore. Then we got
hold on. I waited for my point on this. This is absolute asinine that this game is not the night game.
Oh yeah,
or at the bare minimum 4:25. This is absolute insanity that this game is 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. It is a battle for the number 1 seed in the AFC. Why is this at 1 o'clock? This is wild that this is not standalone. Wild.
This is number 1 in the league. Period.
God Almighty. This is what's wrong with you. How is this not the number 1 game? How? Like, this is crazy. I went nuts earlier on the Chiefs game being in Germany or wherever the hell it was against the Dolphins. How is this game not standalone?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Like,
there hasn't been that many flexed games this year, actually.
I know. Yeah, they did the whole.
I feel like there's been like 3 at most.
What's the night game?
1.
Cincinnati, Kansas City?
No, Green Bay and Minnesota.
Oh yeah, Green Bay and Minnesota.
There's no games. There's no games Monday.
That's wild. What are we doing? No one cares about Jordan Love. No one cares about Nick Mullins. Dude, this is wild.
I care about Jaheir Alexander. I want to see if he makes himself captain again.
Dude, I'm telling
He's suspended.
He's suspended. He's not even playing.
Listen, listen. He could get himself a media pass.
Idiot pass.
He's shooting up anyway.
Goodell gets an idiot pass. This is absolute S9 that this is not the night game. I
Yeah.
mean, it plays for the Dolphins' hands, by the way.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Like, this is good for the Dolphins.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good for the Dolphins not being a night game.
No rowdy night fans.
This is wild. I'm so pissed. Thank God the Steelers don't play at 1 o'clock, so I can actually enjoy this game, and it doesn't bother me. But this is wild. This is not the standalone game.
I mean, I'm okay with 10 games in the 1 o'clock hour. I mean, that makes for some good NFL red zone. Just mayhem. It's like pre-March Madness here.
My ADHD brain can't do red zone.
10 games, too.
Yeah, they have the I don't even know what 10. They have the Octo box. I don't know what the 10 box would be.
Deca box.
First of its kind. Then we got New England at Buffalo. We're all sweeping Buffalo here. We have Atlanta at Chicago here. Jake is lone wolfing the Atlanta Falcons for the second consecutive week.
Wow. All right.
If there's ever a time to come back, he wants to hawk Colton. Now it's the time.
Hey,
They just threw 30 on Indianapolis, right?
I haven't really picked Atlanta when they're on the road, but now it's Henkin and not Ritter.
You guys are funny with these picks. I'm going through them. You guys
I might be switching some picks as I go.
Well, I'm mad at you right now, but we'll get to that one later.
And then we go to the AFC South here. Houston at Tennessee. We're all picking Houston on this one. Then we have Las Vegas at Indianapolis. I am lone wolfing Indianapolis. I don't know if I really want to lock in this pick. I don't know if I really want to lock
I'm going to wait till
See, I
whatever.
actually think Indy keeps it close. Like, they actually might win this. Like, dude,
I
if
know.
they cannot throw the football, Vegas, they are in trouble. Like, Pittman's coming back. So, like, the offense isn't going to look as bad as it did last week for the Colts. I'm just picking Vegas because, A, I have a big gap and I do not care. But the fact that more of you aren't jumping on the Colts here is, I think, kind of crazy.
I know Vegas is not that good in the 1 o'clock hour.
No,
So
they're not that good.
So I you know what? I'm locking in the Colts. I'm sticking in with it. Dom, I officially have one game over Dom now.
I would stick with the Colts, man. I get them here. I'm just riding Vegas because you know.
So I
No, it would be one because I'm going to pass you in the standings.
Just win.
I didn't pick this. I didn't fill this in because I wanted to see what Colton did.
What I did, yeah, I'm taking Vegas. I would take Indy if I were you. I really think Indy ends up winning.
I'm mad at you because I like Vegas and I want.
I think Indy ends up winning. To be honest, I just really want to ride Vegas as I rode them last week.
I have no other choice. I have to pick Vegas or Indy.
I think you're getting this one, to be honest. But
And then we go to Jacksonville where Bryce Young and possibly CJ Beathard play. We're all picking Jacksonville here.
oh yeah, if Stroud's or if Lawrence is at the mid quarterbacks out, I'm going to be sending a nice text in the group chat, and I'm going to say Carolina just for shits and gigs. But for now, it is Jacksonville because I think he's going to end up playing because they have to play him. They can't lose.
Then we got the Rams at the Giants. We're all sweeping the Rams here, which will help them in the playoff push. Jonathan Gannon's return to Philadelphia as the Cardinals face the Eagles. We are all taking the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Then we have New Orleans at Tampa Bay. 3 of us have Tampa Bay, and Jake has an empty slot.
I just deleted it because I'm thinking about it. Because do I want to flip this?
Don't do it.
I know.
Just take
Mike
Tampa.
Mike Evans' dad. Watch out.
Just take Tampa. Just take Tampa. Don't overthink it.
Not overthinking it. I just wanted to say a sweep. Move on.
Don't be the idiot like me. Don't be the idiot like me. I backed the Saints all season, and then every time I think they're going to turn the page, and they end up blowing balls. So just don't do it.
I'm good. I'm good with my differences.
Then we got San Francisco traveling to Landover, Maryland. We are all taking the Niners here. Yeah, I'm going to move on here. Pittsburgh at Seattle here. Colton is lone wolfing Rudolph, the quarterback there for Pittsburgh.
You couldn't think of anything that was.
I didn't want to call him Red Nose or anything. Like, if Rudolph didn't have to deal with the fog that one Christmas Eve, he'd be flipping burgers at McDonald's. I mean,
this could be my homer pick of the season because I've been off of them, but I truly think this is kind of it. This is a Tomlin getting to over 500 and then to lose to backups week 18. So as long as I get 9 wins, I can sleep at night and get my money.
Before we sat down and we started hit record, and I had to fill out my picks. I said to Dom, like, how does Pittsburgh mess around and steal this game?
They're gonna win, dude. I don't really think Seattle's good. I don't think Geno's good. I know Smith and Jigba finally getting the football. It's like, oh yeah, he's actually good. Let's get him the ball. But
I mean, he fell on that concrete in Nashville last week. That was like scary. He like lost his foot. Jackson Smith. He like I don't know. There's like a patch of concrete that was just out in the open, like off the field, and he lost his footing and just smacked it. I don't know. It was wild.
Good.
Then we got the Chargers at Denver. Dom wrote ham, so I had to delete my pick and write steak because I don't know for typing types of meat.
That's hilarious.
But I think that means the sweep for Denver.
Yeah,
that's what it is,
bro.
Yeah, the big ham. That's what me and Jake called Jared Stidham. We've said that for years. The big ham, just because I don't know. It's just funny. So
and then we go into last 425 game of 2023. Cincinnati at Kansas City. Jake and I are picking the Chiefs. Dom and Colton are taking the Bengals.
Colton, I'm glad you did.
There's a lot of differences here.
Thank you.
We got a nice little.
I don't know. Maybe I might be able to hawk Jake or something. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Well, make it all the jump.
The script writers this year are wild.
I think Cincinnati got absolutely embarrassed. I think they go back to a simple play sheet here. I don't think Kansas City's dude. It was funny listening to New York radio this week about Mahomes and Kelsey, and Kelsey, dude. I'm telling you, Kelsey could possibly retire after the season. I could see it, man. I could see him.
I think it's more likely.
I think I could see him sick and tired of just hearing the stuff off the field. Dude, I wish there was a mic on the Raiders players this weekend. I guarantee Charles Barkley, they were shit talking him about Taylor Swift. I guarantee it. I wish there was something to hear the garbage.
There was multiple times that Pierce had to get on the field and tell him don't even start, just get off the field here.
Yeah,
Colton, when you get $20 million from Pfizer to just push vaccines all day.
Yeah, I'm telling. I see him retiring, dude.
I wonder how much he got for Campbell's soup.
Sticking with Taylor Swift, he's very well financially. So I could see this. I could see this ending up in retirement, dude.
Do you think Jason Kelsey could retire as well? Do you think it's just a combo? They just retire at the same time?
They should. You know what?
Their podcast is probably doing well enough for them. So absolutely.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people would listen to it because they are playing the game and you get to hear that aspect every week.
I think they're also funny though.
Yeah,
I mean they are funny.
Yeah, they have good personalities.
And then you have all the Swift joining in on because you're going to hear see if Travis scoop about Taylor.
Yep.
And then you got four morons
if he wants to go all in on that, if he wants to go all in on Taylor Swift, dude, I'm telling you, I can see him retiring. All right, this ain't worth it. All the media crap where if I can just go and hide out with Taylor Swift. She can deal with the media stuff. I don't. Works for me. I'm telling you, I could totally see him. I never thought I would say this. I was laughing when I was hearing on the radio. I'm like, dude, there's a serious chance he retires.
I mean, he also mentioned too, he says these hits and all that stuff just been adding up, and it's not the first time. I'm
telling you, it's probably over 60. I'm probably winning 65% he retires.
Yeah, and every week just looks like he's more and more over it. I mean,
yes. That's where I'm at too. He just looks so depressed. Over this crap.
But you know what's wild? Off the field, he looks so much happier. And then when in games, every game, he looks completely miserable every single game. And
it could also be a thing where he goes to the organization. If we do not get another legit receiver to go next to Rice, I'm done. I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah,
where he got another weapon where I guess you can go back to being Kelsey and being great. I want to say one-on-one coverage where now every team's just keening on him. We're just not letting you beat us. So he definitely looks like he hates himself out there.
And then we got the final NFL game of 2023, the Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. We are all sweeping the Packers. Go Pack, go. I was thinking, maybe I could go with the Vikings, but there's just too many injuries that have just amounted on them.
They're done.
Nails in the coffin for Kevin O'Connell and company. Try to come back for next year. And that, ladies and gentlemen, rounds out our final show of 2023. If you like what you're listening to, Follow us down below. YouTube for the Fan Network, TikTok for the Fan Network, X for the Fan _, Instagram for the Fan Football. You can find us on your local podcasting platform, and you can have all these really cool shirts that Colton and Dom are wearing, and Dom's wearing the hat as well that he was gifted for Christmas. Goat stuff. Any final thoughts heading into 2024?
No.
No.
Fire Brian Johnson.
Yeah,
Hire Jonathan Gannon.
Shane Steichen, come home.
Both the coordinators come home.
No, just the one. He can stay over there.
You don't want Murr?
No. No.
Well, on that note, I'm Will. That's Cole, and that's Jake, and that's Dom. We are For the Fan. Tune in next Wednesday for the first show of 2024, and we can see where these picks stand up. Will Dom blow the lead, or will Dom somehow gain a couple games on me? We'll all figure that out. Colton's just eager, just winning in his chair, just shaking in excitement there. Well, hey, everyone, enjoy the new year. We'll tune in next week after the new year. So everyone enjoy.